y'all. Today I'm going to take you through my seed starting station. I'm going to show you everything that I like to use, and some of it may surprise you. I'll talk about the rack, the lights, the pots, the heat mats, everything. And links for everything I talk about today will be in the caption. Let's start with the rack. You can pick any size rack you want. You can get one like this that has 5 shelves. You can get a shorter one. This one is 4 feet long. You can get a 3 foot, a 2 foot, but you have to remember, you are going to need some type of light, whether it is an LED shop light like mine, or whether it is a full spectrum LED grow light. You're going to want to make sure the grow light you have fits the size of the shelf. So I have 4 foot shop lights that fit my 4 foot wide shelf. This shelf is from Target. It comes in black and it comes in silver, and it is around $80. Let's move on and talk about the lights. I actually have 2 different types of lights on my racks, and it's because I originally started off with fluorescent bulb shop lights. That's what was being sold at the time, and they're still working. So I'm not going to replace them with these LED shop lights until they go kaput. The LED shop lights are, however, fabulous, and I wish my entire rack was the LED shop lights. Let me tell you why. The LED shop lights are around $27 from Lowe's or Home Depot. They are the Utilitech brand, and they come with the light bulbs. My fluorescent shop lights, you had to buy the light bulbs separately. These LED shop lights from Utilitech actually connect. So you can connect one light to the other. And in essence, connect all the lights on your rack to each other so that you have one plug that needs to be plugged in for all your lights. And what's especially awesome is the Utilitech lights each have individual on-off pull cords. So if you're not using one of your shelves, you don't have to start unplugging things. You can simply turn the lights off on that shelf. So good. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to my lights is something that I took a long time to finally buy and wish I had bought from the very beginning, are these pulleys. I have all of my lights connected to pulleys so that I can easily change the height of my lights based on how my seedlings are growing. If you don't use the pulleys, typically the shop lights come with metal hooks and you have to manually raise the lights as your seedlings grow, or you attach your lights directly to the shelves and then you have to raise up your trays so that the seedlings are underneath the lights, close to the lights. And then as they grow, you have to remove things to pull the seed tray down so that they're further away from the light and have more space to grow. One thing to note that I do with these pulleys is that I take off the clips that come with them. One clip would attach to the light and one clip would hook onto the shelf, but that adds, I don't know, at least 2 inches of space that I lose of being able to raise the lights. So what I do is I take those hooks off and I use reusable zip ties, and I attach the pulley to the shelf at the top, and I attach the bottom part of the pulley with a zip tie directly to the light. Another thing I love is this super long power strip that gives me the ability to turn everything on this rack on and off. All of my lights and all of my heat mats are plugged into this strip. The strip is then plugged into an inexpensive outlet timer that I set to 16 hours on, 8 hours off. Once you've got your rack and your lights and your outlet and timer situation figured out, then we can move on to what's going to actually go on the shelves and what are you going to start your seeds in. Let's talk about heat mats first. I own these inexpensive heat mats from Amazon. They are not temperature controlled in that I am not able to set the temperature. I have not found in all my years of seed starting for that to be a necessary functionality for my heat mats to have. I typically have 3 of these because my seeds are only going to be on these until they germinate. And I really only need them for the super warm loving seeds like tomatoes and peppers. One of my favorite ways to start seeds other than soil blocking is to use these 6-cell air pruning trays from Bootstrap Farmer. They come in lots of different colors. I'm partial to the pink, and they are being housed in a normal depth 10-20 tray. If I'm potting up what I started in the 6-cell tray, for anything that I started in this, depending on how long it is until it goes outside, might get potted. All right, now that we've cleaned up that mess, back to it. What I was trying to show you is that if you have these 2.5-inch pots, these inserts, 32-cell inserts, are great for keeping the pots stable. But one thing you need to know is that they really work the best with the shallow 10-20 trays, because this way, the bottom of the pots are touching the bottom of the tray, which you need when you're watering. If you put these in a standard 10-20 tray, the bottoms are not going to reach the bottom of the tray, and you end up having to fill the tray up with way more water than you need, and it makes watering a little bit difficult. The Bootstrap Farmer humidity domes come in 2 heights. You've got the tall 6-inch. This is great for propagating plants that you want to keep under a humidity dome, and the 2-inch or 2.5-inch humidity dome, and this is great for seed starting. My favorite way to start seeds is actually not in any of these plastic pots, but in fact is using soil blocks. The one thing with soil blocks that you have to remember though is timing. If you time it right, and I'm not with these cannot go out for a while. They're gonna need to live inside for a while. But come spring, when I'm able to time things really appropriately for when I'm going to be planting out, I can use soil blocks. And soil blocks have so many advantages. They air prune the roots, they reduce transplant shock, they reduce the need for plastic, they eliminate the need of cleaning your plastic pots when you're done. So just a lot of benefits. And let me show you. So these are some of my favorite soil blockers. These are all Swiftblocker soil blockers. And these are the Nano series, and they come in different sizes so that depending on what type of seed you're starting, you can use the appropriate soil blocker. So this makes 25. I may not want 25 of something, and then I would use one of the Nanos that makes fewer soil blocks. Or maybe I'm starting squash or pumpkin seeds, and it's a larger seed, and I want to give it some more root space before I transplant it out. Let me just show you. So here, look. So this was the Nano 4. I made some beautiful soil blocks with the Nano 4. And there's one more. And then there's also the Nano 9. All of these are made in the United States with Michigan steel by a husband-wife small business. And the great thing about the Nanos is you can make these blocks in almost any type of tray. You don't need specific soil blocking trays. You can use 10-20 trays. You can use cafeteria trays. You can use Tupperware, repurposed food containers from takeout. It's really versatile. Something is going to be on my seed rack for a long time. Like maybe I'm dabbling with starting my peppers super early and they're gonna get pretty big before they go out. Or if I'm waking up some dahlia tubers to take cuttings. I also have these large 5-inch pots from Bootstrap Farmer, and I do really like these as well.